up on tegansara.com, you have your journal up there, which is the most interesting read I've ever read, ever.
You're lying.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
It's good though. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And your mom posts in it.
My mom only posted once.
Oh, okay.
See, this is how the lies begin. Like you're a journalist, so then you say, our mom posts. So that means that there's more than one post, but
We're
there's
not
only
geeky.
one.
She only posted once.
Yeah.
Well, you're a little bit geeky.
We're a little geeky. Yeah. We get random people to do it. Like our mom posted because she came out on the road with us to Australia, and then she had a wonderful time in Australia, but had an awful time on the tour. It was hard. She was selling merchandise. She got a cold. The tour got canceled at one point. It was very stressful. But then she just came and visited us in Las Vegas, and she got to sleep on the bus in the U.S. Like in North America, we travel on buses, and she had to sleep in the little, her pod, and she wrote this really she emailed me and asked if she could write an account of her experience as a person traveling with us. And we try to get other people to do that all the time, because as a band member, we have a very sort of set way of looking at things, but we have a friend of ours, this girl Lisa, who sells merch and tour manages sometimes, and we got her to write 5 misconceptions about being on the road and stuff. And sometimes it takes another outsider to sort of say something about us for people to really understand that we're not just joking when we say sometimes that the pods are scary, or that we're afraid to be in a bus accident, or it sucks when people yell profanities or get really drunk at your shows. It takes your mom saying it and posting on your website, or maybe a friend to say oh, it's really hard being on the road, and then other people write. I got so much email about my mom's journal entry, 100 responses Dear Sonia, is it really that scary in the bunk? Where we've been writing about how it's terrifying to sleep on the bus, and people are always like, you kidders, you guys are so dramatic. My mom writes one stupid journal entry about it. Now everybody's like, I feel so bad for you. Your girls really should have got you a plane, and they should have flew you to the show, and why did you have to go in the bunk? And I'm like,
How dare you?
I know.
Bad children.
We're awful children.
You just mentioned Vegas, which led me to another part of your journal entry. I've got the whole quote here.
Okay.
If you've blacked out from too much alcohol, remember what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except possibly the STD.
Right.
Use protection. STDs and HIV are on the rise. Be smart and play safe.
My mom works.
Your mom wrote that.
My mom wrote that, and
Mom's a good time.
The thing is that my mom is a therapist, and she works in for a lot of years. She actually worked in this collective where it was like an alternative school program where they were working with high risk girls, teenage girls. A lot of them were working were sex workers, were prostituting, doing drugs.
So she has a lot of expertise.
Yeah,
in
she's
that area.
she knows that kids. A lot of parents don't want to talk about what kids are doing out there, and your kid does not need to be a high risk, teen prostitute who's doing coke to get an STD. And what's really interesting now,
she didn't do coke.
What's really interesting now is that my mom has left. Let's focus. Sorry. My mom has now left this program and is working at a school program as a school counselor. It's a private school. It's some of the richest families in the city send their kids to go to this school. My mom is they have the same issues. They have the same high risk behavior. They're kids that are 14, 15 years old. They don't know a ton about sex. They're going out and they're having sex, or they're using this high risk behavior as a way to get back at their parents, or blah 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 blah. Degrassi Junior High. I mean, it's my mom is so sensitive about these things. So then she comes on the road with us, and it's our band is going out for a night on the town, and she's like, be careful, use protection. And it's it seems really embarrassing, but it's kind of that's her style, She's just you gotta educate yourself. There's nothing embarrassing to be talking about that or whatever. So she's pretty hip. She's not a geeky mom with a cardigan, even though I think moms with cardigans are hot, and pantsuits and whatever. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
So your mum actually goes on the road with you and tells you to be careful every time you go?
No, she only came on the road with us once.
Okay.
See, lies again.
Twice.
Now you're pluralizing it again.
She came twice.
She came
Las
twice.
Vegas and Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she came for one show. That doesn't really count as tour. Okay, she came to visit.
But she learned everything she needed to know in that 3 weeks.
She really did.
Whatever it was.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.